Captain Alina Vasquez stood on the bridge of the USS Prometheus and watched the stars through the main screen. Her ship moved slowly through space near the edge of human territory. The crew had been out here for 6 months, looking for new planets and studying space. The Prometheus was a big ship with 200 people on board. It looked like any other exploration vessel from the outside. Gray metal hull, blue lights along the sides, and large sensor arrays that stuck out like wings. Most of the crew were scientists, engineers, and doctors. They spent their days taking samples, running tests, and sending reports back to Earth. Alina had been a starship captain for 15 years. She was 42 years old, with short black hair and steady brown eyes. Her crew trusted her because she always kept them safe. She made decisions quickly and never panicked, even when things went wrong. Today felt different, though. Her science officer, Dr. James Park, had picked up strange signals 3 hours ago. The signals came from the other side of a small asteroid field. They were clearly artificial, which meant one thing: aliens. "Captain, I'm getting clearer readings now," said Park from his station. He was a thin man with glasses who got excited. "About every new discovery, signals are definitely from ships. At least 12 vessels, maybe more." Alina nodded. "Any response to our greeting messages?" "Nothing yet, Captain. We've been broadcasting standard first contact protocols for 2 hours. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen looked up from the navigation console. She was Elena's second in command and had been with her for 5 years. "Should we move closer, Captain? We're still pretty far out," Elena thought for a moment. "Earth's first?" Contact protocols were clear. When meeting a new species, humans should approach slowly and peacefully. They should broadcast friendship messages and show they meant no harm. The approach distance should be close enough to communicate properly, but far enough to avoid seeming threatening. "Take us closer, Sarah. Nice and slow. Keep broadcasting our messages." The Prometheus moved forward through space. Its engines hummed quietly as the ship got closer to the asteroid field. Alina watched the sensor readings change on her screen. The alien ships were getting clearer. "Captain, I count 15 ships now," Park said. His voice was excited, but also nervous. "They're in a defensive formation around what looks like a larger command ship." Alina studied the formation on her screen. The alien ships were arranged in a circle with their weapons pointing outward. It was exactly how humans would position their fleet if they expected trouble. "That's interesting," she said. "They seem ready for a fight. Maybe they've had bad experiences with other species," suggested Chen. Alina nodded. That made sense. Not every species in the galaxy was peaceful. Some were raiders or conquerors. If these aliens had met hostile species before, they might be naturally suspicious. "Keep our weapons powered down," Alina ordered. "I want them to see we're not a threat." The Prometheus continued its slow approach. Alina could see the alien ships more clearly now. They were sleek and silver with curved hulls that looked almost organic. Strange energy patterns flowed along, their surfaces like veins of light. Suddenly, Park's console started beeping rapidly. "Captain, they're scanning us with some kind of deep penetration sensor. It's going right through our hull." Alina frowned. Deep scans were usually considered rude in first contact situations. It was like looking through someone's private belongings without permission. But maybe these aliens had different customs. "Let them scan," she said. "We have nothing to hide." But as the scan continued, Alina noticed something troubling. The alien ships were moving. They were spreading out and changing position. Their weapons were starting to glow with energy. Captain Chen said quietly, "I think they're getting ready to attack." Elena's heart started beating faster. This wasn't how first contact was supposed to go. Are we doing something wrong? Check our approach speed and distance. Park quickly checked his readings. "We're following all the protocols, Captain. Approach speed is standard, distance is appropriate for first contact. Our weapons are powered down, and our shields are at minimum." Alina couldn't understand it. Prometheus was doing everything right. They were being as peaceful and non-threatening as possible. So why were the aliens acting hostile? "Captain, incoming transmission," said the communications officer, Lieutenant Torres. "It's not in any language we know, but the computer is trying to translate. Put it on speakers. Strange sounds filled the bridge. They were high-pitched and rapid, like birds chirping very fast. The translation computer worked for several seconds before producing words in English. Unknown vessel. You approach and attack. Formation. Your weapons charge detected. You will surrender or be destroyed. Alina stood up quickly. Attack formation? Our weapons aren't even charged? The translation might be wrong, Park suggested. Maybe they're misunderstanding something. Alina thought fast. These aliens seemed to think the Prometheus was hostile. Maybe their sensors interpreted human technology differently. Or maybe they had evolved to be very suspicious of strangers. Torres, transmit this message. We come in peace. We are explorers, not warriors. Our weapons are not active. We wish to talk and be friends. Torres sent the message, but the alien response came, back even faster than before. Lies. Your vessel shows clear attack posture. Your approach speed indicates hostile intent. You have 10 seconds to surrender. Alina felt ice in her stomach. 10 seconds wasn't enough time to retreat or explain. Right? These aliens had made up their minds. They thought the Prometheus was dangerous, and nothing would change that. All hands. Brace for impact. Alina called over the ship's communication system. Shields to maximum evasive maneuvers. The alien ships opened fire all at once. Bright energy beams shot across space toward the Prometheus. The first hit slammed into the ship's shields, making the whole vessel shake. Red warning lights started, flashing on every console. Shields down to 60%, Chen reported. Hull damage on decks 5 and 6. More energy beams hit the ship. The lights on the bridge flickered as power systems struggled to cope. Alina held onto her chair as another impact nearly knocked her down. Return fire? Asked the weapons officer. Alina hesitated. Oh. If they fired back, it would prove to the aliens that humans were hostile. But if they didn't fight, her crew would die. Another massive hit struck the ship. This time, something important broke. The engine noise changed to an unhealthy grinding sound. Engine damage, Captain, the engineering officer called out. We can't escape. Alina realized the truth. Aliens had trapped them. The Prometheus couldn't run and couldn't hide. All because of a terrible misunderstanding. She looked around at her crew. They were scared but still working at their stations. They trusted her to save them. But Alina didn't know how. These aliens wouldn't listen to reason, and now her ship was crippled. Captain Park said quietly, "What do we do now?" Alina stared at the alien ships on her screen. They were moving closer, probably getting ready to board the Prometheus. She had to think. If something fast, or her crew would become prisoners or worse. We survive, she said firmly. Whatever it takes, we survive. The emergency beacon from the USS Prometheus reached Earth 12 hours after the attack. The signal traveled through space at faster than light speed, carrying a simple but terrible message. First contact had gone wrong. Admiral David Chen sat in his office at Colonial Defense Command when the alert came in. He was a small man with gray hair and sharp eyes who had been protecting human space for 20 years. When he read the message from Captain Vasquez, his face went very serious. The Prometheus was trapped. Alien ships had attacked without warning. The crew was alive but couldn't escape. Worse, the aliens seemed to think humans were naturally hostile. This could mean war with a species that shot first and asked questions later. Admiral Chen called an emergency meeting. Within an hour, the top military leaders of Earth were sitting around a table in a secure room deep underground. The mood was tense. The situation is bad, Chen told them. We have 200 people trapped by hostile aliens. If we send a rescue fleet, the aliens might think we're invading. If we do nothing, our people die. General Morrison, the head of Earth's armies, spoke up. What about negotiation? Can we talk to these aliens? The Prometheus tried that, Chen answered. The aliens don't want to talk. They think we're liars and warriors. So what do we do? Asked Fleet Admiral Park. Chen was quiet for a moment. Then he opened a sealed folder on the table. Inside were documents marked with the highest security clearance. Documents that most people in the room had never seen. "There is something you need to know about the Prometheus," Chen said slowly. "It's not just an exploration ship." The room became very quiet. Everyone stared at the Admiral. 3 years ago, we started a secret project called Protocol 7, Chen continued. We were worried about meeting hostile aliens someday, so we built special systems into some of our ships. Systems that are normally asleep. He pulled out photos of the Prometheus. But these photos looked different from the ship everyone knew. In these pictures, the Prometheus had weapon ports along its hull. Its engines were much larger. Strange antenna arrays stuck out from the main body. "The Prometheus is really a prototype warship," Chen said. "Everything the crew thinks they know about their ship is only half true. The other half has been waiting for a day like today." General Morrison leaned forward. "You mean it's been hiding weapons this whole time?" "Not just weapons," Chen said. "The entire ship can transform. New armor plates, hidden missile tubes, advanced shields, and an artificial intelligence system that's smarter than anything we've ever built. We call her Athena." Lead Admiral Park looked shocked. "The crew doesn't know any of this." "Captain Vasquez knows some of it," Chen said. "She was briefed when she took command. But most of the crew thinks they're on a science ship. That was the whole point. If enemies captured the ship, they would only see what we wanted them to see." "And now?" Morrison asked. Chen stood up and walked to a large computer terminal. He typed in several passwords and authorization codes. A new screen appeared, showing the words Protocol 7 authorization required. "Now we wake up the real Prometheus," he said. Meanwhile, in space, near the asteroid field, Captain Vasquez sat in her damaged ship and tried to think of a way out. The alien ships surrounded the Prometheus like wolves around wounded prey. Hadn't attacked again, but they also hadn't tried to communicate. "Captain," said Dr. Park, "I'm picking up some strange readings from our own ship." Alina looked at him with confusion. "What kind of readings?" "Internal systems are activating? Systems I've never seen before. It's like the ship is waking up." Before Alina could ask what he meant, every screen on the bridge went dark. Then new words appeared in bright blue letters. "Protocol 7 activated. Stand by for system integration." Alina felt her heart jump. She knew about Protocol 7. Admiral Chen had told her about it in a secret briefing 3 years ago. She had hoped they would never need to use it. "All hands, this is the captain," she announced over the ship's communication system. "Remain at your stations. Do not be alarmed by any changes to ship systems. We are implementing defensive protocols." A new voice spoke from the bridge speakers. It was female and sounded completely calm. "Good evening, Captain Vasquez. I am Athena, the Advanced Tactical and Hazard Elimination Neural Authority. I am now online and ready to assist." Elena's crew stared at the speakers with wide eyes. Had never heard this voice before. "Hello, Athena," Elena said carefully. "What is your current assessment?" "We're surrounded by 15 hostile vessels of unknown design," Athena replied. "Our engines are damaged but repairable. The enemy appears to be waiting for something, possibly our surrender. Can you fix our engines?" "Affirmative. However, I recommend a more comprehensive approach. With your permission, I will begin full ship transformation. This will take approximately 20 minutes. Alina looked around at her confused crew. They deserved to know what was happening. "Athena, please explain to my crew what you are." "Certainly. I am an artificial intelligence built into this vessel 3 years ago. The USS Prometheus is not merely an exploration ship. It is a prototype military vessel designed to appear harmless while possessing advanced combat capabilities. Have been dormant until now." Dr. Park raised his hand like a student in school. "What kind of capabilities?" "Adaptive armor plating, directed energy weapons, advanced missile systems, gravitic manipulation drives, and comprehensive electronic warfare suites," Athena answered. "In simple terms, Dr. Park, this ship was built to fight and win against superior numbers." Lena saw the shock on her crew's faces. "I know this is surprising," she said. "But right now, These systems might be the only thing that can save us. Captain, said Lieutenant Commander Chen, are we really going to fight them? Alina thought about that question. She didn't want to fight. She wanted to explore space and make friends with new species. But the aliens outside had made their choice. They saw humans as enemies, no matter what Alina did. We're going to defend ourselves, she said firmly, and maybe teach these aliens that humans are more dangerous than they thought. Beginning transformation sequence, Athena announced. Throughout the ship, hidden panels began to open. Walls moved aside to reveal weapon systems that had been sleeping for years. The hull started to change shape as new armor plates slid in two. Position, deep in the engine room, powerful new systems came online with a deep humming sound. Alina felt the ship vibrating under her feet. The Prometheus was transforming from a peaceful exploration vessel into something else. Something that could fight back. Transformation complete in 18 minutes, Athena said. Captain, I should mention one important detail. What's that? The enemy ships are moving closer? I believe they intend to board us within the next 10 minutes. Lena smiled for the first time since the attack began. Then they're in for a surprise. Outside, the ship, the alien fleet, moved closer to their trapped prey. They had no idea that the harmless human vessel was about to become their worst nightmare. The alien boarding ships attached to the Prometheus hull, with loud metallic clangs. Captain Alina Vasquez watched her security monitors as strange cutting tools began burning through the outer airlock doors. The aliens were coming whether she wanted them to or not. Athena, how much longer until transformation is complete? Alina asked. 6 minutes and 30 seconds, Captain, the AI replied calmly. However, internal defensive systems are already online. Lena looked at her crew. They were scared, but trying to stay brave. Most of them were scientists who had never been in a real fight. They spent their days looking at star charts and running experiments, not fighting aliens. Listen, everyone, Alina said in a strong voice. I need you to remember something important. Every person on this ship has military training Earth requires. It for all deep space missions. Might be scientists, but you're also soldiers when you need to be. Dr. Park looked nervous. Captain, I haven't used military training since Academy. That was 15 years ago. It doesn't matter, Elena replied. Your body remembers. Trust your training and trust each other. The first airlock door gave way with a shower of sparks. Lena could hear alien voices through the hole. They sounded like birds chirping very fast. Athena, what can you tell us about the boarding party? Elena asked. Scanning now, Captain, Athena said. I count 36 hostiles in the first wave. They are bipedal, approximately 6 feet tall, with lightweight bone structure. Their equipment appears to be energy-based weapons in some kind of restraint devices. Alina nodded. They want to take prisoners, not kill us. That's good to know. Captain, said Lieutenant Commander Chen. What's the plan? Alina thought quickly. The aliens expected to find helpless humans hiding in their rooms. Instead, they would find something very different. We don't just defend, Alina said. We hunt. Athena, can you control the ship's environment? Yes, Captain. Gravity, lighting, airflow, temperature, and all internal systems are under my control. Good. Here's what we do. Let them think they're winning at first. Draw them deep into the ship. Then we show them what humans are really like. The aliens finished cutting through both airlock doors. Alina watched on her monitors as the first group moved into the ship. They were tall and thin, with long necks and large eyes. Their skin was pale blue, and they moved very carefully, like they expected traps everywhere. The aliens wore black armor that covered most of their bodies. They carried weapons that glowed with purple energy. Most importantly, Alina noticed they moved like prey animals. They kept looking around nervously and stayed close together in tight groups. They're afraid, Alina realized. These aliens evolved from creatures that got hunted by predators. That's why they shot first. They're scared of everything. The alien leader spoke into a communication device. Athena translated his words. Ship appears empty. No resistance detected. Moving to secure bridge and engineering, Alina smiled. Athena dimmed the lights to 30%. Make the gravity a little stronger in Section C. Can you make some noise to draw them toward the medical bay? Understood, Captain. Creating diversion now. Throughout the ship, lights went down to a spooky level. The aliens on Elena's monitors started moving more slowly as the gravity increased. Strange sounds echoed through the corridors, making the boarding party bunch together even more. They're heading for Medical Bay, reported Lieutenant Torres from Communications. 40 more aliens just boarded. They're splitting into 3 groups. Elena touched her earpiece. All crew members, this is the captain. Time to show our guests how humans really behave. Remember, we're not prey, we're predators. In the medical bay, Dr. Sarah Kim waited behind an overturned table with 3 nurses. When the first aliens entered the room, they saw what looked like a normal ship's hospital. Clean white walls, medical equipment, and beds for sick people, secure. This area, the alien leader chirped to his soldiers. Check for hiding humans. That's when Dr. Kim stood up. She wasn't holding medical tools. In her hands was a military-grade plasma rifle that had been hidden in a medical supply cabinet. Surprise, she said, and opened fire. The aliens had never seen anything like it. The human they expected to cower and surrender was attacking them. Worse, she was good at it. Dr. Kim moved like a trained soldier, using cover and coordinated fire with her team. Impossible, one alien transmitted. Back to his ship. The medical human is fighting like a warrior. In engineering, Chief Petty Officer Rodriguez and his team had turned their workplace into a fortress. They used power tools as weapons and energy conduits as traps. When aliens tried to enter, they found that the humans had turned every piece of equipment into something dangerous. These aren't scientists, an alien sergeant reported in panic. They fight like trained military. Alina listened to the alien communications through a THENAS translation system. She could hear the confusion and fear in their voices. Athena, route the aliens toward Deck 5, Alina ordered. It's time for the main event. On Deck 5, Alina waited with 15 of her crew members. This was where they would make their real stand. Alina had chosen this location carefully. It was a long corridor with lots of places to hide, and only 2 ways in or out. The aliens came down the corridor in a tight group, just like Alina hoped they would. They were trying to stay safe by sticking together. That just made them easier. Targets now, Alina whispered. Her crew attacked from 6 different directions at once. But this wasn't random shooting. Every human moved with purpose, using tactics they had learned in military training. They worked together like a pack of wolves. The aliens tried to fight back, but they didn't understand what was happening. These humans weren't acting like any prey species they knew. Instead of running away, the humans were hunting them. Fall back, the alien leader ordered. Regroup in Section A. But when they tried to retreat, they found that Athena had sealed the doors behind them. They were trapped in the corridor with angry humans who fought like professional soldiers. This is not possible, one alien transmitted. Intelligence said humans were peaceful explorers. Alina stepped out from behind cover. She wasn't pointing her weapon at the aliens. Instead, she held her hands up in a gesture of peace. My name is Captain Alina Vasquez, she said clearly. Athena, translate this. The alien leader looked at her with large, frightened eyes. He spoke in his chirping language, and Athena translated, You are not what our scans indicated. Your ship appeared to contain scientists. We are scientists, Alina replied. We're also soldiers, engineers, doctors, and anything else we need to be. That's what humans do. We adapt. A species confuses us, the alien admitted. You fight. But then offer to talk. You show mercy to enemies. Alina nodded. That's because we're not actually enemies. You attacked us because you were afraid. But fear doesn't have to lead to war. She looked around at the trapped aliens and her crew. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to lower our weapons. You're going to do the same. Then we're going to sit down and actually talk like civilized beings. The alien leader was quiet for a long moment. Then he slowly lowered his weapon. His soldiers did the same. You would trust us after we attacked you, he asked. Alina smiled. Trust is what separates civilized species from animals. The question is, are you civilized? Around them, the Prometheus continued its transformation. Soon it would be a full warship again. But maybe, Elena thought, they wouldn't need to use those weapons after all. The moment of peace inside the Prometheus didn't last long. Admiral Kiktar of the Zephyrian fleet watched his boarding teams disappear from his sensors one by one. What should have been a simple capture mission had become a nightmare. His tactical officer chirped nervously. "We're losing contact with our boarding parties. Something is wrong." Admiral Kiktar was old for a Zephyrian. His blue skin had faded to almost white with age, and his large eyes had seen many battles. He had survived by being more careful than other commanders. But this human ship confused him. "Status of the human vessel?" he asked. "Unknown, sir. Our scans show massive internal changes. The ship's structure is shifting. Energy readings are increasing rapidly." Kiktar studied the readings with growing alarm. The human ship that had seemed so helpless was transforming into something else. Something dangerous. That's when the real USS Prometheus revealed itself, Captain. Elena Vasquez stood on her bridge as Athena completed the final transformation sequence. Around her, the ship hummed with new power. Walls had moved to create better defensive positions. Weapon systems emerged from hidden compartments. The bridge itself had changed, with new tactical displays and control stations rising from the floor. "Transformation complete, Captain," Athena announced. "All systems are online and ready." Lena looked at her main screen. The alien fleet was still arranged in their defensive circle, but she could see them moving nervously. They knew something had changed. "Athena, what are our capabilities now?" Elena asked. "Full weapons array is online. Advanced shields at maximum power. Engines repaired and enhanced. Electronic warfare systems ready. We are no longer trapped, Captain." Lena felt a cold smile cross her face. For hours she had been the hunted. Her crew had been in danger, her ship damaged, her people threatened. Now it was time to turn the tables. "Open a channel to the alien fleet," she ordered. "Channel open, Captain." Elena spoke clearly and calmly. "This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the USS Prometheus. You attacked us without provocation. You boarded our ship. You threatened my crew. Now you will learn what it means to hunt humans." The response came quickly from Admiral Kiktar. "Human vessel, you will surrender immediately. You are surrounded and outnumbered." Elena laughed. It was not a nice sound. "Admiral, you made a mistake. You thought we were prey. But humans aren't prey. We're the thing that eats the hunters." Nodded to her tactical officer. "Athena, show them what a real human warship can do." The Prometheus moved like a living creature. Its engines, now fully enhanced, pushed the ship forward at incredible speed. The alien formation that had seemed so solid suddenly looked very fragile. "Admiral." Kiktar watched in horror as the human ship accelerated toward his fleet. "All ships, open fire. Destroy that vessel." 15 alien ships fired at once. Energy beams and plasma bolts filled space around the Prometheus. But the human ship danced between the attacks, like a predator playing with its food. Its new armor absorbed the hits that connected, and its shields flared bright blue, but held strong. "Impossible," Kiktar whispered.
"How is one ship avoiding so much firepower?" The answer was Athena. The AI could think faster than any organic brain. She calculated the path of every enemy weapon and moved the ship accordingly.
More than that, she was learning. Each time an alien weapon hit, she analyzed its frequency and power. Each time they missed, she studied their targeting systems. Captain Athena said calmly, "I have identified weaknesses in their weapons. Their energy frequency is predictable. I can now avoid 97% of their attacks." Elena nodded. "Time to go hunting. Target their engines, not their life. Support. I want prisoners, not corpses." The Prometheus struck like a shark attacking a school of fish. It moved to the edge of the alien formation and fired precisely at the nearest ship. The alien vessel's engines exploded in a shower of sparks, leaving it drifting helplessly. One down, Alina said. 14 to go. Admiral Keektar tried to coordinate his fleet, but the human ship was too fast and too smart. It would appear beside one of his vessels, disable it, and vanish before his other ships could react. Each attack was surgical and exact. They're not trying to kill us, his tactical officer realized. They're capturing us alive. Keektar felt ice in his stomach. In Zephyrian culture, being taken alive by predators was the worst fate imaginable. All ships, ramming speed. If we cannot win, we die with honor. But as his ships moved to ram the Prometheus, something strange happened. The human ship didn't dodge. Instead, it stopped moving and broadcast a message on all frequencies. Admiral Keektar, Captain Vasquez's voice said, "If you ram my ship, you'll kill your own boarding parties. They're still alive inside my vessel. Is your honor worth their lives?" Keektar hesitated. In the heat of battle, he had forgotten about his soldiers trapped on the human ship. They were good warriors who had served him for years. Could he really sacrifice them? Alina watched the alien ship slow down and felt a moment of satisfaction. That's better. Now, let's finish this properly. The Prometheus moved through the alien fleet like a master surgeon. Ship after ship lost power and drifted helplessly. The humans didn't destroy anything important, just disabled engines and weapons. Soon, Admiral Keektar found himself commanding a fleet of floating scrap. "Impossible," he transmitted to Alina. "We had you trapped. You were helpless. We let you think we were helpless. There's a difference." She studied the disabled alien ships on her screen. They were completely at her mercy now. She could destroy them all with a few commands. But that wasn't what humans did. "Admiral, I'm going to do something your species probably won't understand," Alina said. "I'm going to help you." "What?" "Your ships are disabled but not destroyed. Your crews are alive. I'm going to repair your life support systems and make sure you have enough power to get home safely." Keektar was silent for a long moment. "Why would you do this? We attacked you." Alina thought about how to explain human nature to a species that had evolved from prey animals, because that's what civilized beings do. We protect those who cannot protect themselves, even if they were our enemies 5 minutes ago. The Prometheus moved to the first disabled alien ship and extended repair drones. Alina's crew began the work of fixing life support and basic systems. Not weapons or engines, just the things needed to keep the aliens alive. "I don't understand your species, Admiral Keektar." "Transmitted, I know," Alina replied. "But maybe you will, given time." As the Prometheus moved from ship to ship, repairing and helping, something changed in the alien transmissions. The fear was still there, but now there was something else. Confusion, wonder, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of respect. Alina looked at her crew. They were tired, but proud. They had fought when they needed to fight. They had won when they needed to win. And now they were showing mercy when they could have shown cruelty. "That's what makes us human," she said quietly. But she knew this was just the beginning. The real test would come when they tried to actually talk to these aliens. Fighting was easy compared to understanding. 3 days later, Captain Alina Vasquez sat across from Admiral Keektar in the Prometheus conference room. Between them was a table with food from both species. The Zephyrians ate small fruits and seeds, while Alina had coffee and sandwiches. It had taken 2 full days for Athena to create a working translation system between human English and the Zephyrian language. The breakthrough came when Dr. Park realized that Zephyrian communication was partly musical. They didn't just use words, but also tone and rhythm to carry meaning. Admiral Keektar looked very different up close. His skin was pale blue with darker patches around his large eyes. His hands had long, thin fingers that moved constantly when he talked. Alina noticed he kept looking toward the door as if planning an escape route. "You are still afraid of me," Alina observed. Keektar tilted his head, which was how Zephyrians showed confusion. "Should I not be?" "Shh. Your species defeated my entire fleet with 1 ship. Alina poured herself more coffee. "Tell me about your world, Admiral. What was it like when your people evolved?" "Why does this matter?" "Because I want to understand why you shot first and ask questions later." Keektar was quiet for a moment. Then he began to speak in his musical voice. Athena translated his words, but also added notes about the emotional tone. My world was beautiful, but dangerous, he said. Zephyr had tall forests with silver trees and crystal rivers, but it also had many predators. Flying hunters with sharp claws, ground stalkers with poisonous teeth, ocean beasts that could swallow whole villages. Alina listened carefully. Your people were prey animals. Yes. For millions of years, we survived by being careful, by hiding, by running fast and thinking faster. We learned to spot danger before it spotted us. We learned that anything unknown was probably deadly. Alina nodded. That explained everything. So when you met humans, your instincts told you we were predators. Your ship approached too confidently. Your communications were too direct. Your crew showed no fear. Only predators behave that way. Alina leaned back in her chair. And you were right. Humans are predators. But we're also something else. Gestured around the room. Kiktar and 12 others Apharian prisoners were living freely on the Prometheus. They could go almost anywhere on the ship. They ate with the crew and even helped with repairs to their own vessels. If we were just predators, Alina said, you would all be dead or in cages. Instead, you're guests. This confuses my officers greatly, Kiktar admitted. They don't understand why you keep us alive. Alina smiled. Let me tell you about Earth, Admiral. My world was dangerous too, but in a different way. We had predators, yes, but we also had other humans. For thousands of years, we fought each other. Tribe against tribe, nation against nation. We learned to be warriors. Then how did you become? Peaceful? We didn't. We became something better. We learned that the strongest predator isn't the one who kills everything. It's the one who knows when not to kill. Dr. Park entered the conference room carrying a tablet computer. Captain, I have the cultural analysis you requested. Thank you, Doctor. Admiral, my science officer has been studying your people's history from your ship's databases. With your permission, of course. Kiktar made a gesture that meant agreement. Your species has never had a major war, Dr. Park said. In 10,000 years of recorded history, the largest battle involved maybe 100 soldiers. Most conflicts were resolved by one side running away. We are not warriors, Kiktar said, almost proudly. We survive by avoiding conflict. Lena nodded. That's why you don't understand us. Humans survive by winning conflicts. But over time, we learned something important. The best way to win a war is to prevent it from starting. She stood up and walked to the window. Outside, human repair crews were working on the Zephyrian ships. Both species worked together, sharing tools and techniques. Look at that, Alina said. 3 days ago, we were shooting at each other. Now we're fixing each other's ships. That's not because humans are soft or weak. It's because we're smart enough to know that friends are more valuable than corpses. Lieutenant Commander Chen entered the room. Captain Admiral Chen is requesting a video conference. Alina looked at Kiktar. Would you like to meet the leader of Earth's military forces? Zephyrian Admiral's eyes went wide. He wishes to speak with me? He wants to make sure this misunderstanding doesn't happen again. The main screen in the conference room activated, showing Admiral Chen sitting in his office on Earth. Behind him, Alina could see other military leaders and government officials. Admiral Kiktar, Chen said formally. I am Admiral David Chen of Earth's Colonial Defense Command. I want to apologize for this incident. Kiktar looked shocked. You apologize? But we attacked your ship. Yes, you did. But you attacked because you were afraid. Fear makes people do stupid things. Should have sent better first contact protocols. Alina watched Kiktar process this. The idea that the victims would apologize to their attackers was completely foreign to Zephyrian thinking. What happens now? Kiktar asked. Admiral Chen smiled. Now we try to become friends. We'll establish embassies, trade agreements, cultural exchanges. Your people are excellent engineers, and we could learn from each other. But what if there are more misunderstandings? Then we'll talk about them instead of shooting, Alina said. That's what civilized species do. Kiktar was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. Captain Vasquez, may I ask you a question? Of course. Your species could have destroyed us completely. You had the power. Why didn't you? Elena thought about how to explain something so fundamental to human nature, because that's not what strength is for, Admiral. Real strength isn't about how much you can destroy. It's about how much you can protect. I still don't fully understand. Maybe not today, but you have time to learn. 2 weeks later, the Zephyrian fleet left human space with full repairs and a formal peace treaty. Admiral Kikdar's final message to Elena was simple. Thank you for teaching us that predators can choose to be protectors. Elena stood on her bridge and watched the alien ships disappear into hyperspace. Her crew had returned to their scientific work. But everyone carried themselves a little differently now. They had learned something important about themselves and their species. Captain, Athena said, incoming message from Earth. They're assigning us to the new Diplomatic Contact Division. Elena smiled. I guess we're not just explorers anymore. What are we then? Asked Dr. Park. Elena looked at the stars ahead. Of them. Somewhere out there were other species, other civilizations, other potential friends or enemies. We're what humans have always been, she said. We're survivors who choose to help others survive too. The Prometheus set course for new systems, carrying the knowledge that first contact didn't have to mean first blood. Sometimes the most dangerous response was the one that chose peace over war, and across the galaxy, word began to spread about. The strange species called humans, predators who protected, warriors who showed mercy, hunters who chose to heal. The universe had never seen anything quite like them before.